Hey everybody! Do you have an Apple TV? Do you have an Apple Watch? Did you know you can control your Apple TV with your Apple Watch? It's a pretty cool feature I use often when I have friends over. The Apple TV Siri remote is the best way to control your Apple TV, but your Apple Watch can perform most basic tasks. The easiest way to control your Apple TV with your Apple Watch is to use the Now Playing app on your Apple Watch. You'll need to be using the same Apple ID and be on the same Wi-Fi network on both devices. On your Apple Watch, open the Now Playing app. Most of the time, it will default to a different device, so tap the arrow in the top left corner, then scroll through the list and find, and then choose your Apple TV. To perform basic functions like moving around the screen, tap the remote icon in the bottom right. This will bring up a trackpad that lets you move around the screen. A single tap on the screen in the trackpad area is just like pressing the Select button on your Siri remote. There's even a back button just like on the Apple Siri remote. You can press Done at the top to go back to the basic play, pause, and volume controls. It's pretty handy. You can also access the same touchpad screen by using the Apple Watch remote app. However, from my own personal experience, I found it isn't quite as stable and often can't connect to my Apple TV as easily as using the Now Playing app. But if you'd like to give it a try, run the remote app on your Apple Watch. Then scroll through the list of available devices and choose your Apple TV. Using this method does not offer volume controls, and it doesn't offer the play-pause screen. So I never use this method myself, as the Now Playing app offers more control options, and I find it's just more powerful overall. I find the new Siri remote offers a much better user experience than the Apple Watch controlling the Apple TV, but sometimes you just need to change the volume or control the Apple TV without the remote being handy, so the Apple Watch is a great alternative. Do you like to use your Apple Watch to control your Apple TV? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd like to learn more about all the new Siri remote offers, stay tuned for the bonus video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more tech videos, including tech how-tos. See you in the next one. Hey everybody, welcome to my video about how to use the new Apple TV 4K remote. In this video, I'll be going over all the features, tips, and tricks for using your Apple TV 4K remote, so stay tuned. I recently bought the new Apple TV 4K and have really been enjoying it. While I found the remote to be reasonably user-friendly, I did have to research some things here and there to try to figure it out. So I thought I'd make this user guide to show you all the features of the new remote, and even some tips about how to use it better. First, we'll start at the top and work our way down. Of course, we have the power button at the top. Press and hold to turn your Apple TV box and television on and off. Then, beneath that is the click pad with touch surface. Essentially, this is a touch-sensitive D-pad that lets you navigate through menus and choose options. You can either use it like a D-pad to move around the screen by clicking the directional buttons, or you can swipe. It's pretty cool. In the middle is the Select button, for lack of a better name. You press that Select button to run an app or select the option highlighted on the screen. A neat new trick you can do, since it's a touch surface, is use it like a jog wheel to scroll through video. First, pause the video using the play-pause button, then just touch and hold for a moment, and then start to circle clockwise or counterclockwise depending on the direction you want to shuffle the video in. While this is a cool feature, I prefer just using the left and right buttons for this, as I personally find it easier. Just click the right or left button when the video is playing to jump in 10-second intervals. Other cool features of the touch surface: swipe down for menu. On the Apple TV app, it gives you the options for subtitles and audio. On the Netflix app, it also gives you the Info tab. And another hidden or less talked about option is that if you double tap the Select button, not press, just touch but double touch or tap, it can change the aspect ratio of some video content. I've noticed this works in some movies that are in widescreen with the black bars at the top and bottom. It will magnify the video to get rid of the bars. This also works in older TV shows that are in the old 4:3 aspect ratio. But this doesn't seem to do anything for newer TVs or content that is already in 16:9. Moving on, we have the back button below on the left of the touch surface clickpad. It's pretty self-explanatory. it takes you back to the previous option or screen, but has what I have found to be a couple of neat little tricks as well. If you're watching content through the Apple TV app and press the back button, it will give you the description of the TV show or movie you're watching, including the runtime, rating, video quality, audio type if available, and if there is closed captioning. And it will give you the option to start from the beginning again. In the Netflix app, it will bring you to a similar screen with more options. As a fun bonus feature, if you press the back button from the home screen, it will run the screensaver. Next we have the TV Control Center button. In its default configuration, it will toggle between the Apple TV app or the home screen depending on what's running. However, you can also change this setup in the settings so it just takes you to the home screen every time you press it. I personally prefer it this way. To change the behavior of the button, go to the Settings app, go down to Remotes and Devices, then select TV button. Now only take you to the home screen and it will no longer toggle between the Apple TV app and the home screen. If you press and hold the button, it will bring up Control Center. Control Center gives you the time and date in the upper right corner, the sleep button, which is pretty much a duplicate of the power button on the remote, the Now Playing widget, a shortcut to a reduced version of the Home app that lets you run any of your favorite scenes for your smart home setup, a shortcut to the Apple TV Search app, and a cool audio output option similar to what you can do on your iPhone. In my case, I have my Apple TV set up to default to the HomePod stereo pair in the living room, but sometimes I want the audio to play throughout my condo, so I can also send the audio to my bedroom HomePod mini as well. This option is great when listening to music for get-togethers. Continuing on, next we have the Play Pause button, which is a pretty simple button. It just plays or pauses whatever you're watching. If you're watching something from the Apple TV app, you also get the picture-in-picture option when you play from the button. After you press play from being paused, select the picture-in-picture button above the timeline. It's kind of a cool option. Below the Play Pause button is the Mute button. Pretty simple. Press once to mute the audio, again to bring it back to where it was. And of course, beside that we have the volume up and down buttons. Again, pretty self-explanatory there. You can press and hold for the volume to slide up, or click it to go in increments. Now for the last button, which is a Siri button on the right side of the remote. When you want to use Siri on the Apple TV, just press and hold the button while speaking into the mic near the top of the remote.
Hey Siri, what's the weather?
With Siri on the remote, you can do anything from check the weather, run smart home automations,
Hey Siri, lights?
And even use your voice to control the Apple TV box. One thing to note for those using Siri shortcuts for home automation, Siri on the Apple TV doesn't seem to be able to run those. At least I can't seem to get any to work, which I think is so odd since Siri on the HomePods will run them as long as your iPhone is on your Wi-Fi network. Just thought it might be helpful to know. But you can use Siri to run an app like Netflix, or even run a specific TV show or movie. I found through my use it's pretty good, but not always perfect. Like my search for the movie The Martian.
The Martian.
I already own this movie. I have the digital copy that came with the Blu-ray in iTunes or Apple TV, so it's already in my library. But when I do a Siri search from the home screen, I get the option to buy, rent, or open it in Disney Plus, not to watch it from my library. But overall, it's not too bad. One cool bonus trick with the Siri button, if you have a scene where you're not sure what was said, you can press the Siri remote and say, "What did he say?" And it will go back a bit and turn on the closed captioning, so you can see what was said. It's pretty cool. That's all the buttons, but the last thing I want to briefly discuss is how to charge the remote. It uses the same lightning connector as most Apple products, like AirPods and iPhones, and is located at the bottom of the remote. The battery in the Siri remote should last you quite some time. Most people I've talked to said they charge it 2 to 3 times a year. The Apple TV is supposed to let you know when the remote needs to be charged on screen when the battery gets low. But if you'd like to check out the battery level on your remote anytime, you can just go to the Settings menu, then choose Remotes and Devices, then go down and choose Remote. It will tell you the serial number, firmware version, and of course the current battery level of your remote. While using the new Apple TV 4K, I've had to look up things here and there and have learned lots of little tips and tricks, some of which I shared in this video. If you'd like to see an Apple TV tips and tricks video, please let me know in the comments below. If enough people ask for it, I'll do one. Did I miss any features of the new Apple TV 4K remote? Please share with us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And while you're down there, don't forget to ring that bell and subscribe to the channel for more tech videos, including tech how-tos, every week. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.